Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we will be going live into the match between SoCal Esports and Conform Esports. So they do have a sub on the side of Conform Esports in the name of Ethan. He will be subbing in for us under. So let's see how this will go. So T side will be SoCal Esports, and right now it looks like they just want to make it a fast 5-player push over towards the B site. They do have Scartalon and Ballin on the site. Scartalon will be trying to spot out anyone he can. Does spot out Slugs. Tosses a nade in there. Doesn't do too much damage. Does hit a nice headshot onto Slugs. It immediately gets traded up by Reflect. And now Aaron already pushed into the site. Lit down to 13 HP. Potta getting lit down to 24 as well as he tries to cross. Ballin just sitting in this catwalk area trying to get whatever damage he can. Gets Potta down even lower to 9. And Potta finishes off his teammate. That'll suck. And Ballin with the double headshot is going to leave it with only Emrod in a 1 versus 4. And Mr. Zilama is going to finish it. And that will be Conform Esports taking the first round 1-0 over SoCal Esports. So let's see if they can just string this together into a 3-round lead very early on here. Alright. So it is going to be 3 MP9s. Let's see what Mr. Zilama is actually going to buy up. A Scout on him, an AUG on Knickknacks, and full Glocks on the terrorist side. Their money is not the best, especially with Potta killing his teammate. That is going to put them in a little bit of a slump. And now Scartalon just once again trying to spot out. There's a nice molly in there. Is going to do a little bit of damage in the follow-up. Nate gonna finish off Emrod. Ballin getting one as he tries to drop out. Slugs is going to trade, but Ballin not going to leave him alive for too long. Now it's just Aaron and Reflect. Reflect has picked up an MP9, but Ballin's going to finish off. And Knickknacks quickly finishing off the round, but Ballin with the 3K. Doing a really good job at just holding that B apps area as the terrorists try to just jump out onto the site, and Scartalon doing a really good job with those nades, just trying to control it. He knows that they're trying to get out fast. The terrorists are opting to buy up AKs this round. They all have a flash and a smoke, and Reflect's even got a nade for himself, but they are going to go for another 5-man push out the B apps. And right now, this might work out their way. Ballin with the MP9 and Scartalon with only a 5-7. They aren't expecting this artillery to be coming out from the terrorist side. Smoke going out there too, just to delay the push a little bit more. 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and Ballin's already pushed out of the site into the catwalk area. So right now, if these terrorists decide to try to make this a B-site take, it will be very deadly. But Scartalon decides to get a little ballsy, push through the smoke. It will get his team the information, but that's a 4 versus 5. And now the terrorists starting to flood out onto the site. It's only Ballin with the MP9s holding from catwalk. And Potta's already going to get the bomb down. Emrod with a nice headshot onto Ballin to keep it into a 3 versus 5. And Zilama's just trying to dance around, find what he can. But Emrod and Paula both getting a kill each is going to leave it all down to Ethan in the market area. And have a very close encounter. Will find Aaron, so that's 1 rifle out of the round already. It looks like he wants to try and go for this a little bit, but Potta gonna peek out and get a 2nd kill of the round. And that will be SoCal quickly coming back into their first round of the game, but Conform Esports will be able to buy up here a bit, and Ballin opting to just buy up the op rather than drop for Scartalon. Pretty dangerous ask. Yeah, Scartalon now only on a P250. Ballin actually trades it to Zilama. Right now, it's looking like the terrorists want to take this a 5-man push towards the A site, which might really throw off the opposition. They've been going towards the B site every round, so now that they've got one, I'm assuming they want to just try to change it up. Try to just see if they can make something happen here. So the smoke going to come out, blocking off Knickknacks over towards the stairs area. Ethan finds one, finds a 2nd, peeks out again, trying to pick off Aaron, but runs out of bullets. That makes it a 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3, not a 3 versus 2-3. And Scartalon with only a P250 might be a little bit difficult to get anything out of it in this situation. Mr. Zilama in the CT area, trying to find what he can with the up. Ballin pushes in. Gets a shot onto Emrod, and it spotted out Aaron. Ballin getting a follow-up, and now it's just Aaron in the palace area. They know where he is. Ballin gonna quickly switch off weapons. Unfortunately, that one's also out of bullets. And Aaron peeks out, gets a 2nd, and now Scartalon with the defusal. He does have a kit, and he will have the time to get this. So, a 3 versus 3 going the way of the counter-terrorist, but Aaron was making that close. Don't exactly know what Conform Esports was doing there when the bomb was down, and both players were trying to go for the defuse on it, but the player from Palace just peeked out and sprayed both of them down. Luckily for them, Scartown was nearby to get the follow-up, and a kit was dropped on the bomb, so a safe defuse comes out, and that'll be Conform Esports coming right back into it. And once again, the Terrorists opting for another 5-man push. They're setting up for it, at least. And they've just been relentless in these 5-man pushes, and so far it's only worked out for them once when they caught the enemies off guard with their equipment. So there's no telling how effective it's actually going to be now that Conform Esports are up here on rifles. Ethan hiding in the sandwich area. He is going to have a fight here soon. Reflect peeking out, not quite clearing sandwich. So Ethan's still safe. And now Reflect going to fall to Ethan. Knickknack still sitting up here. Ninja peeks out. Pod is going to finish him off. And Ethan going to pick off Aaron as well. 3 versus 4. Make it a 3 versus 3 as Emrod gets another kill. And now the counter-terrorist starting to rotate into this site. Slugs in the smoke. Almost got his life saved, but Emrod trading out Scartalon. Mr. Zealma bring it back into a 1 versus 2. Trying to find whatever he can. Pada just spraying down onto the stairs. Just trying to hold these people back. He doesn't know that they're so far pushed up. Goes for the spray against Ballin. But Ballin will win the fight with the op. So, a 3-round lead on the 4th round for Conform Esports. And now, SoCal Esports will be forced back down onto a save. They have the money, they could buy up a little bit here, but I'm suspecting they're just going to try to save here, buy up safely into the next round. That looks like that's what they're going to do. So are they going to go for another 5-man push? With a Tech 9, it's not a terrible idea to just try to overwhelm a site and get out there quickly, but it looks like they actually want to take this towards Underpass, and Ballin might get caught a little bit off guard here, but it looks like he is suspecting it. Throughout the game they played yesterday against Venomous Kings, they were always suspecting that Underpass push just because it was so frequent. So Ballin's probably still not over that, still trying to keep an eye towards that area, but maybe not so much now that they're against this team that's been going for a lot of 5-man pushes. The nade almost doing quite a bit to Mr. Zealma, only takes him down 14. Slugs does pick off Ethan. Back in B, Apps grabs a rifle for his troubles. Ballin does trade it onto Reflect. But now it looks like the remaining 4 want to try to take this over towards the B site. Actually, changing their mind, they want to try to get the bomb back, go through the mid area, and try to find something to do. Ballin is holding this pretty close up. Is going to hit the leg shot onto Emrod, but it's going to be Emrod to find the kill. Scartalon trading it, but Slug's going to finish off Scartalon. That's going to bring it into a 2 versus 3. Now Knickknack's over towards Connector, just trying to see which site they're going to go towards. They have 1 player on each site. Mr. Zealma's trying to boost himself up here, but he better do it quickly because he's got terrorists coming his way. Spots out Pot, a nice headshot onto the jumping man, and then fits a follow-up on the Slugs, and a 3rd onto Aaron! And that's Mr. Zealma shutting down any chance of SoCal taking that round in that 3 versus 2. Stellar play from him. We'll drop the op over to Ballin, and that's going to be Conform Esports leading 5-1. Ballin just going to try to go for an early mid pick against Pada. Pada does have the early positioning, but switches off of his rifle right at the end. Unfortunately for Ballin, not able to punish that. But Pada is playing this really passively. Doesn't want to give up anything. Scartalon has rotated out to Cat to assist his teammate. And in the meantime, Slug's pushing up the underpass area. Right now, it looks like SoCal Esports is going for a little bit more map control than they have the previous rounds. They're not going for just a straight-out 5-man push. Trying to just get whatever information we can. Pada. And a close shot onto Scartalon. Ballin does have his suspicions that somebody has pushed up the underpass area, too. Will he be able to get anything out of this? Pada still watching over towards Catwalk. Ballin has positioned himself around the smoke, trying to find what he can. Goes for the no-scope, not going to be able to land anything, and the nades flying into the window are going to claim his life. So now Pada just trying to see if he can get that man over towards Catwalk. Reflect going to pick off Ethan. And that makes it a 5 versus 3 very early on in this round. Actually, very late, 30 seconds left. Aaron going to pick up Scartalon. And now it's 1 man on either site again, so Mr. Zealma going to have to try another hold, but Pada going to quickly dash those chances. And Knickknacks, with it all to do, 1 versus 5, he's probably going to just try to play for some exit frags. They don't have amazing money on the Conform Esports side, because even on these eco rounds, the Terrorists have been getting a good bit of kills off of them every round. Does pick off slugs, so that's a little bit of extra money in the pocket. 1 rifle down for the Terrorists. Terrorists as well don't have amazing money, so any rifles he can take off of them here in the end are going to benefit his team greatly going into the following round. Aaron going to peek out, gets his head claimed as well. Emrod taking a fight, and Knickknack's running out of bullets. In the rifle is going to claim Emrod. That's a 3K for him. And right now, they got to stop hunting this guy. They're losing all their rifles. Reflect dies as well. And that's going to bring it into only an op going into the second round, or going into the 8th round of the game. The Terrorists' second round on the board, but fantastic job of controlling the economy there from Knickknacks. They just kept pushing it into 1 versus 1 situations, and weren't able to find anything with it. So it is going to be just pistols among Knickknacks' rifle here. Knickknacks going to be soloing over towards the B site with it, but right now it looks like they're setting up for yet another 5-man push on the Terrorist side, going out onto this A site. 3 counter-terrorists are positioned over here to stop this push, and they're going to go out, not going to get very much damage, only brings Reflect down 10. And now Pata trying to get whatever info he can. Mr. Zilama spots him out, not able to hit the headshot, and Ballin is forced out of position by a nice molly. Mr. Zilama full flash, and they have a smoke wall coming out here from the terrace. Mr. Zilama already tagged down to 16 from the op. And now he's going to try to find whatever he can. Reflect already finding ball, and that makes it a 5 versus 4. Mr. Zilama finding one, but Aaron trading it. And Scarton getting found out by the terrorist. That is going to leave Ethan alone on this site. Gets a headshot onto Reflect. That's an AK in his hands. He looks like he wants to try to do something with it, too. And with Knickknacks rotating in, it looks like they might want to try for this retake. So Aaron in Firebox is going to be able to finish off Knickknacks, and Aaron will peek out and finish off Ethan as well. 3K on the round for Aaron, and another close round going the way of SoCal Esports. They will be able to buy up here again, but their economy is being handled very nicely right now from Conform Esports. They're getting these picks on these rounds they shouldn't be winning. So right now, it looks like a 3-man push over towards the B site, maybe rotate some of the counter-terrorists away, and then the bomb can go into A. But as I say that, it looks like they want to take the bomb over towards the B site, just making another 5-man push. And right now, Knickknacks the only player holding the site. It might be a very, very easy round for SoCal if they decide to go this route. They're just trying to figure out what they want to do in the B apps. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Plenty of time to think. But as they wait, Ballin and Mr. Zilama going to be flanking here from the B apps side. Pata is watching it, so it's going to be an easy shot onto Ballin. Mr. Zilama starting to come in now. Actually, he's just holding the doorway. It looks like they want to start rotating that. Nade might do massive damage. And it does to about 3 players on the side of SoCal Esports. And now the counter-terrorists, the lone 3, know where these players are going. 35 seconds left on the round. If they can stop the bomb from going down, they could win it. 30 seconds left. All 5 players from SoCal still remain. And Scarton's trying to watch towards Palace. Falls back a bit. Pata up there in Palace. Knickknacks does get a shot off onto Reflect. Pata finally going to finish off Knickknacks. Scarton getting slugs in the meantime. 17 seconds left. Scarton finds another one, and now it's Ethan in a 1 versus 2. The bomb still needs to go down. And finally, Ethan hears it. He hears the plant coming out. He was about to just go and hide, win the round for his team, but he hears the plant, so he knows he has to do something. And with only a deagle and armor to his name, he knows he can afford to go for this. He sees the AK down on the ground. Let's try for something. Aaron currently just watching connector for any type of a push out mid. Ethan grabbing an AK. He's going to be looking to see what he can find. Goes for the defuse. Aaron peeking out, but it's going to be Pata from Palace with the 4K to finish off Ethan. And again, another close round is going to be going the way of SoCal Esports. Their money has been handled very good, very well from the Conform Esports side, and will just be a pause coming out here for a second. So we are just going to wait for the remaining players to re-ready. In the meantime, I will put on some music, and we will come back in a few. Alright, so we will be getting back right into the match. 3 seconds left in freeze time, and we will be getting back. So an op on Knickknacks. It finally will be another rifle round for Conform Esports, and if they can beat SoCal Esports in this round, the economy for them is not going to be good enough to buy up for another round. Knickknacks just waiting a little too long on that pre-fire. Will not hit the shot through the smoke, and Pata trying to take this fight against Knickknacks, trying to decide when's the best time to peek out, and he will get the flick shot onto Knickknacks. Bringing an early advantage to SoCal Esports in this round. Scartown wants to rotate and try to get that op back, but there's really no good time to go for it. Ethan finding Emrod over out Palace. He looks like he wants to push further in here, and if he does, he might find Reflect. Reflect's gonna find him though early. And Pata getting another one. That's a 4 versus 2, favoring the terrorist side here. And this round is quickly falling apart for the counter-terrorist as Pata finds his 3rd of the round on the Scartalon. And now Mr. Zilama just trying to find whatever he can, trying to pick off Aaron. Picks up the off, goes for the shot against Slugs, just misses it, and that'll be SoCal Esports claiming their 5th round, tying the score 5-5. And once again, Conform Esports forced back down onto a save, and this is SoCal Esports' final. This is their chance to just start building up a bank, start just getting some money out here, and allowing themselves to fight back into it. And now, 5-man push over towards the B site. There are 0 players here from the counter-terrorists, so it will be a very easy bomb plan if they choose to go for it. Ballin going up through underpass on the flank. Might be able to catch out 1 or 2. Scartel and Mr. Zilama going for the flank in B apps. Again, Pato was watching it, turns around at the last second. Ballin hears him running around. And now it looks like this 3-man flank is going to be coming out into the B apps. They do have Knickknacks on the A site rotating over as well. Scartel taking some shots against Pata. Actually does hit a shot against Mr. Zilama, like tagging him down to 37 HP. And Ethan in market trying to find what he can. Doesn't hit the shot onto Aaron, and now it's going to be a 2 versus 5. Ballin still alone in these apps, trying to wait to see if anybody will push out into him. Knickknacks coming up catwalk, does get the kill onto Reflect. Trying to find what he can. Pata getting tagged down to 22 as well. And Ballin not going to be able to get anybody on the exit frags. So that will be SoCal taking their 6th round, finally taking a lead over Conform Esports. And there are 4 rounds left in this half. Conform Esports will be back on another bye here, but at this point, if they win this round, they won't immediately break the economy of SoCal Esports. They'll have to string together a few in a row here to get through that wall of economy they've built up. Ethan with the op is watching the ramp play this time. They do have a double op setup. Scartalon in mid, and Ethan over towards ramp. Knickknacks has rotated in connector to help out his teammate in window, but right now it is just Ethan on the A site, and he will be holding against a 5-man push here in a few seconds. Looks like Knickknacks is deciding he wants to just try to rotate out. Looks like he wants to rotate further into mid. Scartalon watching over towards Palace. Did spot out Pata. This is going to be Knickknacks' call to rotate back onto the site. Ethan finding one. Trying to get the second onto Tetris. Not going to be able to hit it. Reflect spraying through that smoke. Is going to be able to find Ethan. Finds Knickknacks as well. That's going to make it a 4 versus 2 retake. Scartown with his op, trying to push out, just get whatever information he can, try to get this, try to get some picks. Mr. Z-Llama is gonna pick off Aaron on the site. And right now, Emrod peeking out, gonna spray down Scartown, and that's leaving it in a 3 versus 2. Ballin gonna equalize it. Mr. Z-Llama from CT is gonna find one of his own. And now it's just Reflect in the firebox area, sprays down Ballin. Mr. Z-Llama knows where he is now. And Reflect pushing out here is going to win the duel. 4K for Reflect. Beautiful hold of the site. And that'll be the 7th round on the board for SoCal Esports. And once again, Conform Esports forced onto an eco round here. And SoCal Esports just running away with it right now. 7 rounds in a row they have won. Or 6 rounds in a row. I thought it was a 5-0. The start, Mr. Z-Llama finally getting that opening kill with the op at the beginning. That's going to give him a little bit of room to work with, but Reflect quickly trading it as Ethan and Knickknacks both try to push out Connector, and he'll claim the heads of both of them. That'll leave it into a 4 versus 3, and Mr. Z-Llama already rotating over towards the A site to try to cover this push. Smoke coming out onto Connector, not quite going to cover it, misses the flick shot, and now it's going to all be down to Ballin as he holds against this push onto the B site. Sprays down one, goes for the second, almost claims the life of Reflect at 1 HP, but it's brought into a 3 versus 2, and now Mr. Z-Llama trying to see if he can find anything through this window. Not going to quite be able to do it. Scartown recovering an AK in mid. He does have a kit, so it is a doable situation here for them. But it looks like they don't feel that confident. They want to fall back and save. And Reflect with another 3K on this round. This man's going 13-9 right now. Him and Pata doing some fantastic stuff, just getting the picks every round for their team. Even after Mr. Z-Llama opened that round up, instantly Reflect trades it. And that's just some incredible stuff coming out from SoCal, and they're running away with this. Reflect does die in the end. But with 1 HP, what can you expect? So Conform Esports gotta figure out something that they can do to try to fight their way back into the 7 rounds in a row for SoCal Esports. Their money is not going away anytime soon. Conform Esports did a good job at the beginning of managing the economy, but if they can't win the rounds, managing the economy isn't gonna matter. Mr. Z-Llama just waiting to see if anybody's going to peek out the right side, and he will claim Pata early in the round. That's a major victory for him. It looks like Emrod might be trying to recover that gun. Right now, Mr. Z-Llama is smoked out. He's going to have to reposition. The op has been recovered on Aaron, who's trying to just watch the edge of that window smoke. Nothing will be recovered, and now Ethan pushing out will claim slugs outside A main. So that's going to make it a 5 versus 3. Right now, it looks like the terrorists want to try to take this over towards the A site. Ethan's still holding in the palace area. 55 seconds left. The terrorists have plenty of time to make their minds up. Reflect wants to push out underpass. It looks like this could either be a B-apps to mid-play, or they're just going to try to push out onto the B site. And right now, it looks like they want to go underpass. So all 3 terrorists going to be in the underpass area. Reflect already out in mid, trying to see if he can find anybody's head on the counter-terrorist side. And now Knickknacks and Connector going to be the first point of contact. Wins the fight against Reflect. Did spot out Emrod in the underpass area, so communication to his team. Ballin is going to know that there is at least one person back there, and Emrod getting his life claimed. It's just going to be Aaron with the op in the B apps area. He is going to find the shot onto Ballin. But right now, with 5 seconds left, he's just looking to save this op. Mr. Z-Llama looking like he might not want him to, but this could lose the op for the counter-terrorist, and Aaron's going to claim that shot as well. So, even though the counter-terrorists win that round, it's not a very good situation for him going into last. They don't have an op to play with. Mr. Z-Llama giving it up right at the end there, which I don't think was really worth it. I think just let him save the op. They're going to be able to get one out anyway. So just let him save the op. Don't risk your own, because now it's a Scout and a FAMAS going against full artillery here from the terrorists. That's not a good situation to go on the hunt. Ballin going to toss a nade in there. He is going to do a good bit of damage onto Aaron. And right now the terrorists looking like they want to go towards this B site. In the meantime, Mr. Z-Llama with the Scout pushing up through mid. Let's just try to get any info we can. And Reflect isn't looking his way right now. Pulls out the rifle right at the end. Is going to be able to hit the spray onto Mr. Zilama. So now all 5 players from the Terrace remain. 1 minute left in the round. Last round of the half. The counter Terrace are looking to bring the 7-8. Terrace trying to take it 9-6. Let's see which one will come out ahead. It looks like this 5-man push towards the B site might just be happening, and right now it's only Ballin. He is playing a little bit of an off angle, so if they don't check this, it could ruin them. But he starts to hear people dropping down on this site, communicates it to his teammates. Knickknacks is finally going to start rotating in here, but Ballin in the smoke. Gonna try to push out, make something happen. Sprays down the bomb planter, but the bomb does go down. Ballin getting 2. That brings it into a 3 versus 3. So he at least equalizes it for his team. Knickknacks trying to push out Market. Does spray through the smoke a bit. Not going to be able to hit Slugs. Just waiting in this corner. Slugs actually deciding he might want to get a little bit aggressive. Push in here. Claims Knickknacks. And that's going to be a 2 versus 3 situation. Ethan getting picked off by Aaron and Reflect finishing off Scartel. 9-6 will be the end of the round score. End of the half score. Favoring SoCal Esports, and after a 5-1 early lead, taking it 9-6 for SoCal Esports. That's gonna put a little bit of thought into Conform Esports' mind, but let's see who can bring out this pistol round. If SoCal Esports does, it'll give Conform Esports a little bit of pressure, but if they can take this pistol round, they can equalize the scoreboard. And we saw last time when they won the pistol, they were able to string 5 rounds in a row together. If they can do that here, they'd get a 2-round lead. Aaron taking a fight against Mr. Zilama. They both will be flashed, so nobody going to be able to come out ahead there. Aaron finally claiming Ethan, gets a second on the Knickknacks. Mr. Zilama finally going to trade it. And now Pata behind the smoke and CT sprays through a little bit. Not going to be able to find anybody. Ballin trying to take that fight. Not going to find anybody as well. Ballin doing some damage down onto Emrod, but Reflect coming in from Connector is going to finish him off. Mr. Zilama trying to do what he can from the firebox, and it's now him in a 1 versus 4, trying to do whatever damage he can. And he does light up a few players from the enemy team, but it is going to be Slugs to finish him off, and that will be SoCal Esports taking the pistol round in the second half on their counter-terrorist side. 6 rounds between them and victory. And Conform Esports going to be forced here onto a save. So unless they can pull something out of their bag of tricks, it's looking like SoCal Esports might make this a 12-6 scoreline in the next 2 rounds. It looks like a 5-man push coming out from the Conform Esports side this time. Nate gonna come out early damage on the Scarton's second one, taking him a little bit lower too. It looks like now they just want to push out through the smoke. 2 players on this B site. Emerald gonna spray down 1, gets another. Aaron with 2, assisting his teammate. Reflect in the jungle area is going to pick one off, and now just Scartown will be picked off by Aaron. A nice 3K, covering his teammate Emrod underneath the scaffolding area. It's going to really win them that round. The Terrorists are going to be on AKs here. The only one on a rifle for the counter-terrorists is going to be Slugs. Looks like the Terrorists just want to try for another push out onto the B site. Emrod repositioning himself, doesn't want to play under scaffolding again. Let's just play over towards firebox, maybe throw off the push a little bit. The nades being prepped from Conform Esports. In the meantime, on the B site, just throwing down some utility, try to delay whatever push, and now actually it's only Emrod on this A site. He does have 2 teammates that are going to be able to easily rotate in, Aaron and Reflect. And as they hear the smoke start to drop in, they are going to rotate in. Ballin already getting tagged down very low. Knickknacks at 9 HP. Mr. Zilama claims Emrod, but Reflect going to finish him off. Knickknacks with 9 HP over here in Palace, trying to find what he can. Pata is going to be rotating around to the CT side, and there was a crack in that smoke. But right as the smoke dissipates, he will claim the life of Ballin. 4 versus 3 situation. Knickknacks still at 9 HP, and Pata finding 2, Reflect finding 1. And that's going to be just Ethan in a 1 versus 4, and the defuse is coming out. Pata going to be able to get this defuse, and a 12-6 scoreline is going to be the end of the round score. Ethan not going to be able to defend his teammates from the mid area. And now SoCal Esports even got some AKs on their side. And now with the Terrace being forced onto an eco run, it looks like it might be going 13-6 unless they can pull some sort of strategy out of their bag of tricks. It looks like they're going to send 4 players over towards this B site. 1 player over towards mid, 3 towards the B site. Reflect getting tagged down to 42 by the Deagle, and they just want to try to get this bomb plant onto the A site from Mr. Zilama. So they're hoping to just try to draw away the men from the A site, and then just rush in with Mr. Zilama, get the bomb plant, at least get something out of the round. Slug's going to be holding the B apps area. Picks off 1, picks off a second. They have rotated both players off of the A site, so Mr. Zilama is going to be going in for the bomb plant here. Does get it. But Emrod from CT spotting him out will finally be able to land the spray. And Pata finishing off Knickknacks, who did claim the life of Aaron. So now it's just Ethan from the A ramp area. Gonna see what he can do to defend this bomb. It's not planted for him, so we'll have to get into a bit of a precarious situation. Trying to find Reflect, aiming up the shot. Will finally get the headshot, but Pata gonna come in to finish him off. And that will be the defuse coming out, and the 13th round on the board for the counter-terrorists. And SoCal is running away with it right now. 7-round lead. So Conform Esports on this buy are really going to have to do something, because otherwise it'll be 2 rounds between SoCal Esports and victory. So they're going to have an op on the terrorist side. Double op setup, actually. Knickknacks and Mr. Zilama. Mr. Zilama just trying to see if he can get a pick over towards A ramp. Nobody's showing themselves just yet, though. And Knickknacks trying to see if he can get something in mid. Ethan already pushing up on the catwalk. Will spot out Pata. Will win the fight against him as well. And right now, Reflect in the window area might not even know what's coming from Janitor. And Knickknack's actually going to be the one to find the kill. 4 versus 3 situation. Mr. Zilama pushing out into Tetris with his op, trying to see if he can open up this A site at all, get any information on the sites. They know that they've cleared out mid. Aaron picking off Ethan, though. Slugs finding ball and immediately back into a 3 versus 2 and with Emrod finding Mr. Zilama's Knickknacks all alone in this 1 versus 3. And how did this fall apart so quickly? All of a sudden, 50 seconds left and Knickknacks is the only one alive. Trying to find what he can. Slugs is pushing up in the B app, so let's see who will spot out the other person first. Knickknack's gonna walk right into the crosshair of Slugs, and that'll be the 14th round on the board for SoCal Esports. And now all of a sudden, one round between match point and SoCal Esports. Conform Esports gotta find some way to fight around this. Just gonna go pushing right through the molly. Find an opening pick onto Aaron. Trying to get the follow-up onto Emrod, but the nade gonna come out. Picks off Scartel and equalizing it a bit. Mr. Zilama already at 2 HP. Does recover an AK, but Emrod finding a second. Goes in for the spray against the third. Knickknacks is gonna win it. That brings it into a 3 versus 3. The bomb could go down here. And it looks like Ethan's just trying to find a safe position to plant it. He's mollied off where he initially wanted to. And Pata finding Knickknacks is going to make this even more tricky of a situation. Pata just trying to peek out, get whatever he can in this situation. Reflect peeking out jungle will get picked off by Ethan. 2 versus 2. Mr. Zilama at 2 HP. 40 HP on Ethan. Looks like they want to try to boost one over to the stairs side. And this might throw the counter-terrorists off a little bit. Could be their way back in. 48 seconds left. They have enough time to rotate towards the B site, and these smokes are going to dissipate soon. Mr. Zilama is going to be left here out in the cold. 2 HP, though. He does claim the life of Pata. And now Slugs alone in a 1 versus 2 over on this site. And all of a sudden, this 2 versus 3 is looking the way of Conform Esports. Slugs now knows the bomb's planted over at the B site, and right now it looks like he just wants to save this off. Gonna be pushing up a little bit. Looks like he wants to try to finish off at least one player on the exit. But Ethan holding this angle is gonna hear Slugs approaching. It is gonna be an easy headshot for him. So finally, Conform Esports will find their first round on the terrorist side of Mirage. 7 rounds between them and tying it up. 9 rounds between them and winning it. Double op setup coming out here from the terrorist side. Aaron will be up on an op going over towards the A site, so it will be a battle between him and Ethan here for a little bit. The molly going to come out early. Aaron not going to be able to hit the shot onto Ethan. Ethan not going to flick to him either, but 50 HP left on Ethan. Was not a very profitable risk for him out there in the end. Knickknack's going to go up here. Going to get picked off by Reflecting Connector, and that's an early advantage for the counter-terrorist.
it shows up late on my laptop.
Ballin has pushed over here into the Tetris area, so he's just trying to see if he can catch anybody out of position on the site, get his team a way to equalize and a way to push into the site. Giving his position away, so they're going to be a little bit more skeptical towards him now. Reflect is at 20 HP.
Do you like my girlfriend?
Scarton, if Reflect would have stayed there a little bit longer, would have been in for a little bit of a bad surprise.
Oh.
Aaron will find Ballin over towards A ramp.
Oh.
Looking to try to get the second. Tries to flick over to Scartown, but it will be Emrod to find the kill. And now Ethan peeking right into Aaron's crosshair with some assistance from Slugs. Will finish off that round 15-7. So it has been.
I thought after I dropped my parents off, I was gonna go see you. Love you.
Alright, so the match has been on pause. Sorry about that little bit of incident earlier. It was just that the match auto unpaused, so we had to wait for it to wait for them to repause it. I don't know what exactly they were doing. I think someone just went AFK. But let me turn the volume back up. It will be going into the match point round between SoCal Esports and Conform Esports. Slug's gonna take a fight against Nick next with the no-scope. Gonna find one, gonna find a second with the auto sniper. And now it's a 3 versus 5 early on in this round. Minute 15 left on the clock. And Slug's pretty much immediately shutting down that push towards B. Pada gonna take a fight against Scarton, will win it. Or will lose it to Scarton. Scarton will win it. Aaron trying to look to see if he can get anything out of this. Does get picked off by Ethan. That'll be a 3 versus 3 now. Easily equalized by the Terrace. Scarton will get taken down by Emrod and a second headshot on the ball. And that leaves Ethan alone in a 1 versus 2. And now the remaining 2 counter Terrace going to be rotating in here. Ethan just trying to fake it a little bit. Throw anybody off. But all that's doing is going to buy the counter Terrace more time to rotate in here. And now Reflect taking a little damage against Ethan. Ethan down to 28 HP against Slugs at 10, but Slugs with the auto sniper. Gonna be looking to take this and win his team the game. Ethan just trying to propel them into their 8th round here.
We walk furiously.
15 seconds left.
Yes.
The bomb still has to go down.
We scream and throw
Now
tomatoes.
Gonna push out and does it! The headshot through the wall! And that'll be it. SoCal Esports taking it 16-7 over Conform Esports. A fantastic game being played there by SoCal, just winning every situation they got into against Conform after a 5-1 deficit on the first half. Do bring it back 9-6 and win it 16-7. Fantastic play coming out from these guys. They will go on to face DVS Rogue, but for me, we'll be stepping out for now. Sorry about that. I have to go to work soon. Boring job stuff. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a follow or just going to check out the Twitter at